Here we are.
3, 2, 1. Apologies to everybody only if this video looks like shit. Colin's not here again. I didn't know how to set up the camera. So who knows? I think it works. I think it's in focus. But we'll
discover that we don't need him.
Yeah. So, welcome back to the podcast. I meant to tell you this, Karl. User TZ7VB1CR9F. Shout out to you, my friend. He loves, or she loves, or they love the couch format, but only wish that we would sit with just socks rather than, quote, these dirty sneakers.
Wonder who it was. Okay,
and sports shoes.
I was pretty convinced that was going to be one of our friends when you mentioned it to me. Oh, it's definitely fucking Colin just making a burner account. But no. The dirty sneakers comment makes me think it's my aunt that just has a random given username.
User TZ7. I'll go shoeless today, just for you, my friend.
You can deal with this fucking dirty work shoe. Bought these to be Polly Walnuts for Halloween and ruined them within 24 hours. And now they're my work shoes.
So what else is new, Karl? What's going on in the world of Karl Williams?
I think I need to eat more vegetables with fiber in it. Whatever makes your poop more solid, I need to eat more of that. That's what's going on with
lots
me.
Of wet turds these days, dude, I see.
I wiped so hard the other day I thought I dislocated my thumb.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, dude. I cracked my back.
That's a good one.
Come on, bro.
One.
You've been there, right? You don't have a single solid turd.
No, not me, dude. I'm regular. I'm totally regular. I'm regular.
You just said that you've been having diarrhea for 2 days.
I don't know what you're talking about, Karl. I'm regular.
He eats he drinks coffee, eats donuts and Takis.
Yeah. So I recently discovered Takis. I knew they were a thing, but now I am full on, period, girl.
He's
one of the
slamming
I'm
fucking Fiesta-sized bags.
Yeah, Fiesta-sized bag. Sometimes in the morning. I've had them in the morning. I've done it. Fucking Tapatio on them. I'm the hot Cheetos girl on the bus right now. That's who I am. And I'm accepting it. That's who I am. And if you have a problem with it, you can go fuck yourself. What else? Next topic. Next question. Let's go. Rapid fire today, Karl. I hung a hammock in the backyard. What do you think of it?
It's very nice. Actually, dude, I sat in it for the first time the other day. It was very peaceful. And there's a hole right in the fence that you can see right into our neighbor's backyard. And at how much nicer their pool is than ours.
Our neighbors fucking hate us.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Maybe they should cut their fucking lawn.
Yeah. Did we talk about that on the podcast?
Our
neighbors don't cut their
whatever,
lawn?
But they let their fucking lawn grow to be 2 feet high, and then they all went out there as a family and reduced it down to 8 inches high. So now it just looks like shit, but fucking somebody came through and just dug it out with their hands.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they don't just fucking call someone to come cut it. Pay a neighborhood kid. Pay the guy that walks around the neighborhood all day like a serial killer. You know what I'm talking about?
That guy's fucking creepy. And you might be thinking maybe they can't afford to get their lawn cut. They just put in a new fucking gazebo in their backyard.
Pergola.
Whatever. What's the difference between a pergola and a gazebo? Gazebo's in a park, pergola's in your backyard.
I think a pergola isn't fully covered. Well, it looks like they got the sea box type material on top of it to make it fully covered, but I think a gazebo is shingled and has an actual
I'll take a
roof.
video with my phone so you guys can see what our neighbor's backyard here.
Dude,
look at these is that a gazebo or a pergola?
We finally have a group of people that we can shit on relentlessly because we are confident that they'll never see this. Let's talk about the solar opposites, bro.
Oh,
we ever talk about them?
All right. So I'm very used to being the biggest piece of shit on the block, right? That's kind of my forte, right? Mm-hmm. Growing up, no disrespect to my family. I love my family dearly. But sometimes there was broken tractors that hung out in our front lawn.
And Monte Carlos.
And Monte Carlos and vans and
trucks
and a half pipe, which was sick.
And then snowmobiles. When the snow's melted and the snowmobile's still in the front yard.
That was only 1 year. So that's what I grew up with. Luckily, we live in a cul-de-sac where there's a couple other houses just like that. Shout out to you guys. You know who you are.
We won't shit on you. We hold you dear to our hearts.
So I'm kind of used to that. And then, living in Philly or whatever, that was just a bunch of college kids. So every kid was a piece of shit,
like garbage. Yeah, the trash just ended up on the sidewalk all the time. And
so
whatever.
We live in this neighborhood. It's a pretty nice neighborhood. It's got some families like the people we've been shitting on who don't cut their lawn and put in a pergola. Do we know their names?
Asshole.
Before we get to the solar opposites, let's talk about asshole real quick. This guy fucking hates us. So, and the mother, she's pretty nice. You see her, she's driving, she waves, she says hello. They have a son. He plays basketball. His basketball comes into our yard all the time,
and we keep it.
Yeah. No, I legit, the first week we were here, I gave him full permission to like open our gate if it ever comes over. I was like, we don't give a shit. Come on in, just open the gate, get your ball and go out. Like, no problem. Being nice. The dad fucking hates his life or hates us or both.
Both, probably. See him walking his fucking stupid tiny dog that he probably didn't want.
Yeah. And he
drives a fucking like 2007 Prius.
It's a piece of shit. So I'll see him in the morning. We'll both be going to work. Friendly neighborhood wave. Guess who looks at me dead in the fucking eyes and then turns and gets into his fucking car without waving back? Fuck you, neighbor. That guy's a piece of shit.
And fucking Justine does that too, and she's much nicer and more.
I've never been mean to this guy. She's more approachable than I am.
But also, like, he probably knows that you and I are, like, making the loud music and shit.
Also, that's the other thing.
But, like, like I said, Justine's more approachable. She's waved, and he's given her the cold shoulder. So, the fuck?
And I get it. We're a house full of musicians. We have rehearsal from time to time here. But it's once in a blue moon, and we're always done before 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
We're always done before 10 o'clock.
We do our best.
We're not making any more noise than our neighbors to the back.
Yeah, let's talk about the fucking.
We have neighbors in the back of us. Their child, I don't know what's wrong with their kid, but their kid screams at the top of his fucking lungs.
They're either constantly putting him in timeout or constantly in tickle fights in that household, bro, because he screams nonstop.
Colin thinks he's playing video games. He hears them all the time.
There's sometimes he yells and he's like playing FIFA and it's very obvious and he's like yelling about that. So
we're not making any more noise than the rest of our fucking neighbors.
Yeah.
This guy fucking hates us. And then we were outside in our backyard enjoying a lovely conversation at
1:30 in the morning.
1:30 in the morning. We didn't know it was that late. And he came out and he didn't scold us, but he was like, some of us have work in the morning. That one was kind of understandable. But
yeah, the only time it was understandable. It took him a year to finally even fucking address us.
But because he's such a piece of shit, I was already like, yo, I wanted to like.
Did I ever tell you about the time that one of his packages got delivered to our house?
That happened again.
No one was home, I guess, or nobody noticed that it got delivered because the Amazon people just threw it on the front step. And obviously we've had a lot of rain recently. So whatever was in that fucking package, if it wasn't a fucking like ruler, got completely destroyed. Like it was waterlogged as fuck when I got home from work. So I walked it over. I was like, hey, I knocked on his door and he was like really like suspicious. Like he like opened it just a crack. I'm like, hey, like we got one of your packages. I'm sorry. It got like ruined. It was outside since this morning and I just got home from work. So I just wanted to bring it over. And he was like, it's okay. Thank you. And he just like took it and like went inside and closed the door. I was like, you're a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Fuck you, bro. Like
the one time he was really nice to me was when a package of his got on our front doorstep, and I guess we brought it in, and sure enough, he knocked on the door. He's like, "Hey," and I was actually about to go bring it to him, and he was like, "Hey, And I like interrupted him, and I was like, "Your package?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, 1 second." And he was super nice then because we had his package.
It was his Dive-In Delilah sex doll.
Yeah. Yeah. So fuck that guy. He's a fucking piece of shit and a dick. He fucking hates us. Neighbors further down the street. Oh, what time did we start? God damn it.
A little after 10.
Further down the street, we have another set of neighbors. These people, we have nicknamed them the Solar Opposites. If you've ever seen the show, The Solar Opposites, they have a giant spaceship crashed into their suburban home. That's pretty much
with
what
a
these
tarp
guys,
thrown off over it.
with a tarp thrown over it. These guys have this massive boat,
which actually hasn't been there for a long time now.
True,
but for the first year-ish that we were here, there was a massive boat parked outside of their house.
Crudely covered with a blue tarp, just like barely covering it. Then they also have 2 jet skis.
And then they had a Mercedes wedged into the driveway, like in between like the wall. And none of this is right angles. There's no right angles. It's all just like chaotically. So they had this Mercedes parked in there as well. And then there was a shopping cart, and then there was like a moped or a motorcycle like leaned up against the boat trailer, and just so much shit. Then they have like a full living room set in their front yard, which is all just like slate and like a fire pit and a bar. And it's just like the most fucking chaotic house ever. I'm pretty sure their Christmas decorations are still up.
They have a lot of bonfires in their front yard, which I love a good bonfire. We have bonfires. Is that illegal to have bonfires?
No, we got the proper.
Oh, I'm right. So we have bonfires in our backyard. But let's be honest, a bonfire in the front yard is totally different energy. Same way of like drinking in the backyard. That's just a Saturday afternoon. Drinking in your front yard where all your neighbors can see, that's a different story. I do like that.
I like that too.
It's really fun. Now our front yard has grass. We should start doing that.
Super bloom, dude.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
I'm thinking about going to like Topanga State Park or something, wherever, to try and see the super bloom, all the wildflowers before they catch on fire in August and September.
I don't think they're going to catch on fire in August.
You're right. That's a good positive attitude to have. I agree. They're not going to catch on fire. I think we all need to fucking ignore the haters that say that we should not be happy because things are green in Los Angeles. I'm happy things are green.
Wait, but like, I know I'm an idiot, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Don't you think there'd be more fires if everything was dead? Dead equal dry, green equal wet.
If we never got all the rain that we did, more vegetation wouldn't even grow in the first place.
Oh.
So then the dry season comes, it's going to all dry out and die, and then there's going to be more dry debris to start fires everywhere.
I don't think
No, it's sound logic for sure. It's going to happen, but
Is it?
Yeah, probably.
I don't believe it. I don't care.
I mean,
I don't care.
I think that it's I don't think everybody's saying that we're going to have what happened in like 2018 or when was that? All the fires? 2020. Yeah, 2020. Sure. Where like Malibu burnt down.
Yeah.
But
I thought that's what they were saying.
I mean, they're just I guess they're saying it could be like that, but I don't know.
Here's what I'm going to say. If your solution to wildfires is just to make everything dirt, you suck. Because that fucking blows. Why can't you just be happy that everything's green? This is a stupid point. Let's move on. Okay. What's next, Karl? What are we talking about?
We were talking about the solar opposites. I guess we covered all that. Yeah. We have another neighbor that walks around the block for hours on end, and it looks like he wears the same PJs every single day.
He walks in the middle of the street.
Yeah, true. Actually, that's a habit that like a lot of people in our neighborhood have for some fucking weird reason.
Get on the sidewalk, please.
Yeah.
I can't fucking stand that shit.
But it's really weird because also all of our neighbors drive like 45 miles an hour down the streets here, like fast as fuck. So I don't understand where the habit came to walk children in strollers in the middle of the street, but then also drive like 50 miles an hour on a 25 in a neighborhood.
Our neighborhood is such a fucking trip, too. Let me paint the picture for everybody. One house with I judge people's financial status
on their crown molding.
I judge their financial status on mostly their cars, right? That's the best way I can in this neighborhood because most of the houses look the same. So one house looking pretty similar, usually with a few more go-karts in the fucking lawn, and their car is like a 98 Toyota Sienna. Then right next to them, an equally mediocre house, less go-karts in the front yard, and a fucking G-Wagon in the driveway. Mm-hmm. The next one is us, a bunch of 20-something-year-olds living together with 2 shitty Hondas, a Subaru, and a Jeep. And then, like, totally normal 2010 to, like, 2016 fucking hybrid cars. So the mix of humans in our neighborhood is eclectic.
Did we ever talk about our fucking neighbors this way?
Is eclectic the word?
You got me. I don't know.
I don't want to tell that story. I don't want to tell that story. I don't think it translates well.
I'm not going to talk about the abandonment. No, I just mean like on the topic of the fact that we have some bizarre neighbors, we're pretty sure that the fucking house next door to us is some sort of halfway house or sober living or something like that.
No, it's definitely not sober living. They're smoking weed and drinking beers in the backyard all the time.
Maybe it's just a very bad sober living house.
No, I think we thought it was a halfway house for like people getting out of jail. That's what I thought it was.
I don't know.
But then turns out like it's the uncle and the kid who was living there. There's like a trailer, like a trailer in their driveway. There's like a
Winnebago where the one kid lives in the Winnebago. But the thing.
I wonder what the fuck people think we live right now.
The thing that like doesn't make sense to me is that like there's been like a couple of like white kids that live there, and then there's like I've seen like a Latino family like posted up in the front yard like playing with toys and shit like that. And then there's like an older white dude. I don't know. Maybe it's just a bizarre roommate situation. Yeah. I guess we're not any less bizarre. They're probably like, what the fuck are these kids doing in this goddamn
I don't think
house?
It's not a family. It's not a singular family. I think it's the uncle, and then he had his nephew, and then I think he just rents out the rooms to like.
Oh, that makes sense.
Random people.
Well, the other reason I thought it was a halfway house is because almost every night, months on end, the fucking kid was like sneaking out of his bedroom window, which is like 6 feet from my bedroom window. Like our houses are the same house but mirrored, pretty much, and that we share a side yard with them. And every night, like clockwork, this kid would either sneak out of his bedroom window. He completely destroyed the windowsill, by the way, which had to, when somebody else moved into his room eventually, they had to redo it.
Or he didn't move out. He moved into the trailer in the driveway.
Right. He got banished to the driveway. Or he'd be sneaking his girlfriend in. And, dude, I would hear them get into, like, arguments and shit. I guess it was, like, hard for her to pull herself up. And he'd be like, shut the fuck up. And I'd be like, yo, please. Like, I'm trying to sleep here.
Our neighborhood's fucking crazy. I wonder how long we've been going for.
It's 10:22. We probably have, like, 5 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah.
You remember when we lived in Willington and those kids were having a... when we lived in Philadelphia off of Temple's campus. And it was June, and it was 'tis the season for kids going up on their roofs.
Yeah.
And it was like the week of Temple's graduation, and some kids were having a party on the rooftop next to us. I don't think you were home because I was asleep. This is when David and I shared a room on the 3rd floor.
Oh, I do remember this. You yelled at them.
Yeah. Fucking these kids were up on the roof having a party, and I heard one of them jump off of their roof, which is about 4.5 feet higher, down onto our roof. And he landed so hard, it like shook the whole room, but our ceiling fan felt and looked like it was going to fall off the fucking ceiling. And I was like, and I had to be at work at like 7 a.m. the next day, and I was like, that's it. And I fucking, dude, I said every angry, like, old man line for if you get woken up by kids having a party. I went outside, got on our ladder, went up onto the roof, and, like, peeked over the edge. And this kid was still on, like, our roof instead of up on his. And I was like, hey! The fuck? Yo, I gotta be up for work in the morning at 7 a.m. So get the fuck off my roof. And everybody was like, there was like 20 of them.
Sorry, sir.
Every single one of them singularly could have beat the shit out of me. This is when I weighed like 150 pounds and was starving to death. And like, yeah, they were literally like scared. I guess they didn't want me to like call the cops or something like that. But
yeah,
I just wanted to yell at somebody. And then I slept soundly. It was awesome.
What a great place to end it. Carl Williams, the
crotchety old man.
The crotchety old neighbor. Yeah. So I think we just did an entire half hour on neighbors.
Fuck it. Listen to David's new song with you.
Bye.